I want to put out some quick information on a question I was trying to research, and I found out it can be done in certain. Well, it depends on what year you're talking about. I was under the impression that you could not put the 5-speed Sportster Evo motor, like the one they made from 1991 to 2003. You could not put it in a 4-speed frame, which was made from 1986 to 1990. Well, that's not true. It's actually, well, it's true if you're talking in 1986, 1987, or 1988. You cannot fit the 5-speed in there without extensive modifications. The reason is the kickstand is different. The kickstand location is different. And on an 89 and 90, it's a different, the kickstand part is different. The 89 and 90 have the same kickstand as the the 1991 all the way up to 2003 Sportster. And the 86 to 88, and I think maybe some years prior to that, have a different part number for the kickstand, but it's also the location. So, and I remember this, because I remember a long time ago, a friend of mine had an 88, and I remember his kickstand was something different about it. It was like a tab on there or something. It's more forward. So, if you try to put the 5-speed in this, the one made from 1991 to 2003, it interferes with the kickstand. You'd have to, cut and weld the frame and relocate it and stuff, so it gets a lot more involved, right? The 89 and the 90 4-speed setup, you have the kickstand is not in the location exactly as the 91 to 2003, but it is a little further back, and it's a different kickstand. It's the same part number as the 89 and 90 Sportster have the same kickstand part number. It's a little bit further back location in 86 to 88, and it has the same kickstand as the 91 to 2003 5-speed Sportster, but it's located a little further forward than the 91 to 2003. But the 5-speed will fit. It will fit in there. So if you're looking at this here is the 86 to 88, and you can see this part right here. Now, if you make this out, that's where the kickstand is, and it's like a different. It's just different. It's like a hole or something. I don't know. It just slides up in there or something like that. It doesn't work. You'd have to cut this off and remake a bracket like this and weld that in to make it work. So you could make it work, but you'd have to modify the frame. On the 89 to 90, you got the same kickstand as the 91 to 2003, same part number. It's a little further forward than the 91 to 2003. But the 5-speed engine trans will fit in there without any modifications to the frame. So that's good news, because I got an 89, and I was thinking, if I were to go through that rebuild process again, I'd probably get a 5-speed engine that was low mileage from the 90s, preferably a 91 and 99 before they had the press crank. Because I'm not sure, like, to rebuild I was looking at the pinion gear on one of the, it's an essential part which drives the cam gears. It's like, I think there's probably a couple other parts too. Like, in other words, the 4-speed Evo motor is getting a little bit like, they only made it for 4 years. It's a little bit different than the 91 to 2003. There's a lot of common parts, but then there's some parts specific just to the 86 to 90. Well, in 89 to 90, they have it's one part is specific for the pinion gear. So if you're doing a rebuild, you want to change that gear out for sure. And it's like, you can't go to a Harley dealer and get it. S&S don't make it or nothing. I'm thinking maybe there's some other bearings like that would be very difficult to find. And you could do it, but I remember back when I had my engine rebuilt in 1992. The whole thing, the trans bearings and the whole 9 yards. They put S&S rods in it and stuff. It was laid up for months, and it was a pain in the ass. It was really, really a lot of work. And I'm thinking today it would probably be worse, because it's older. It's older, and it's a 34-year-old bike. So I would just opt and get like a 1994 5-speed and maybe put an Andrews cam in it, make sure it's got a 1200cc engine, and call it a day, right? But that's a good option. But it will work with the 89 to 90. It will not work with the 86 to 88 unless you do some extensive modifications on the frame. So I figured I'd put this out here because I looked on YouTube and I didn't see anywhere where they mentioned this stuff. It's kind of like there's a lot of stuff on there that they tell you that not very. It depends on the video, but somebody's looking for this information. I mean, you could check some of the blogs and where I found guys that were writing that. I didn't do this conversion yet myself, but I found that in some of the blogs that they did say that the thing fit, and I was like double checking everything, and I was saying it's the same kickstand part number and stuff. The reason is, I don't think it's the location in the kickstand that's the problem. It's the fact that you see the way this mount is right here. It sticks up, and it's far forward, so it sticks up, but that gets in the way of the primary. See, this is not going to get in the way of the primary because this is out further like this. This is out further right here. This is right on the frame rail itself. And notice here they're talking about the oil pump frame divot. Yeah, I messed with the oil pump on this. I remember that. Oh, God. That was another nightmare, but right now I just kind of ride it a lot and just, don't really. The bikes last a long time, and I really don't. This is just good information to know. The bikes last a long time, and you could jump on them and give them some, do some, hit the gas on it, get the throttle and stuff. And if you really race it really, really hard all the time, you're going to wind up breaking stuff. Because I remember I used to get annoyed that I could, no matter how tight I tightened my mirrors, they'd always get out of adjustment because that's how hard I was accelerating and power shifting. Well, that stuff gets expensive, but I don't do that anymore, so I don't think I'll need a 5-speed real soon, but it's good to know. This is definitely good information to know, because if you got an 89 and 90 4-speed frame, you're in luck. That thing will fit in there, and there's a lot of them on the market right now. I might get one and keep it on the side, because, not right now, but, right now they're very plentiful, like a 90, in the 90s, Sportster engine and frame, 5 speeds. But you know what happens maybe 10 years from now? They start getting rare. It gets like, that's what happens in everything. So I might pick one up and just keep it on the side.